And this is everything you need to know before you take that Shinkansen or bullet train in Japan on your next trip. So this is how it's gonna go down. So I'm gonna be including when, where, and how to get your tickets, a tour of the Shinkansen or a bullet train, and some tips and tricks that I have learned throughout my adventures in Japan. And for this video, I will be taking the Shinkansen from Tokyo Station to Kyoto Station. And that's about 2 hours tops. But before we continue this video, I'm gonna go take a shower and have a bath because after that Top Golf and this weather, I'm stinking. So first, let's talk about where to get your tickets. You can get your tickets from a Midori Madoguchi or a ticket machine. And a Midori Madoguchi is a place where you can get your tickets with the help of someone, which is usually the train conductor or a train employee. And yes, the difference between those two are having someone to help you book your tickets or not. So if you don't know how to use that ticket machine or have someone who can help you use that ticket machine, you should use the Midori Madoguchi. And I know that there is this thing called JR Pass that lets you take the Shinkansen ride. But unfortunately, that JR Pass only lets you take the non-reserve area of a Shinkansen or a bullet train. So what that means is there's a 50-50 chance that you cannot sit on the best seat of the Shinkansen. So yes, I do recommend you to take a reserved seat for that Shinkansen ride. So if you have decided to go to that Midori Madoguchi and reserve your seat, I recommend you to go on hours such as 7 a.m., 8 a.m., or 9 a.m. Try to avoid the hours such as maybe 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, or even the afternoon. And this is because it gets very, very busy. And what that means is the line is so long. And usually you can book those tickets even on that day, as long as you have enough time to go to that Shinkansen station area. But then again, I do recommend you to book those tickets as early as you can because everybody do take a Shinkansens. And when you're booking your tickets, make sure to ask a seat from D and E when you're coming from Tokyo to south of Japan, and A, B, and C when you're coming from south of Japan to Tokyo. And this is because of one very vital thing that you can see from your Shinkansen, and that is seeing Mount Fuji. Unfortunately, not everyone is lucky enough to get that seat, but you don't have to worry about taking a video from afar of that Mount Fuji view. Instead, there's a place for you to go to see that Mount Fuji scenery. And that place is located within the connecting parts of the Shinkansen's carts. And voila, your very own scenery of Mount Fuji. And on that note, let me give you a tour of the Shinkansen. One thing to remember about Shinkansen seats is that everything is functional. So first is the carry-on space. The carry-on space is where you can put your carry-on bag or your carry-on suitcases. This space is similar to that of an airplane. The next, let's talk about seats. The seats all look like this. There's 2 on one side and 3 on the other side. And on your seat, both sides, you get your own space for your coat or your bag to hang on. And this is how you put it on. Of course, there's also a tray that you can put all your food on. And even your PC, just like how this guy is doing. And there's another space on the back of every seat that you can put all your belongings in, or as much as you can fit in there. And at the bottom of your feet, you will also find a plug that you can use to charge all your devices. And when you look above, there is an AC that you can control. And of course, there's a window to check the scenery of Japan. I really like how the scenery of Japan looks like from a Shinkansen's window, and this is because you will see a lot of different things. You will see a lot of different things, the suburban areas, residential areas, mountains, the fields, and even Mount Fuji. Of course, there's a lot of services in the Shinkansen, and one of those is the trolley for food and drinks. But I really don't recommend to buy anything from this trolley because it is a little bit expensive. as you know, as similar as the ones in the airplanes. And so I do recommend you to get some food from the station where you can get yourself some snacks, some drinks, or even some bentos. And this is what I've got for this trip. I've got a grilled salmon bento with all the different things you can eat with it. And of course, you can also get yourself some onigiris and a drink for your trip. One more thing that I would like to mention is that there is the train security that roams around the train to make sure that everything is okay. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a space within the connecting parts of the cars within the Shinkansen. And this is also very functional. For one thing, there is a toilet on board that you can use anytime you want. And the toilet is also very similar to that of an airplane. And it looks a little bit like this. And if there is a toilet, there is also a sink where you can put a makeup on or even wash your hands or anything you need to do with a sink. Some more things that are very functional in this train is the luggage areas for the big luggages that you may have. However, you also need to reserve this area if you need one. And in case you need to call someone, we also have a card-operated telephone booth. And this connecting area is like a phone booth for you as well to take any calls from your phone or anything that you may need. And of course, let's not forget about a place where you can throw away your trash, and it even has a designated area for your bottles or cans. And also, to complete this video, I would also like to mention that if you are purchasing a ticket for Shinkansen, you can also purchase a transferring ticket to any JR line. And this is free of charge. And there's another thing that I forgot to tell you about, which is the seating. We have purchased a seat that is an economy of the Shinkansen. What this means is it's a reserved seat which is very similar to the non-reserved seat sittings. And there is another area where you can have a bit more peaceful ride from one end to another. And this is what we call the green car. The green car has both seats on both sides. And the seats are relatively a bit bigger than the non-reserved and reserved seats. And of course, green cars are also reserved. Green car is a little bit more pricier than the normal reserved seats. And this is because of how the sitting is. You have a bigger leg room for yourself and a space for you to have a bit more comfortable ride. And when I say comfortable ride, I mean comfortable ride, because you won't really hear the outside noise or even the engine noise of the Shinkansen. And you also get a footrest. What a ride! And I do sometimes take the green car because sometimes there is no space on the reserved area of the Shinkansen. And I don't want to risk it on the non-reserved area because sometimes you don't really get a good seat. And that's green car for you, the business class or the first class of Shinkansen. So, which one will you take? The reserved seat, non-reserved seat, or the green car? And I guess that concludes our video for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Japan adventures and Japan lifestyle videos. Bye!